Tirei o acento do meu nome, Marcelo? Quer dizer, eu tirei não, eu agradeci que não tem.
Mhm.
Sabia que eu ia participar de coisa internacional.
Hey guys, welcome to A High Note. I want to thank everybody for being here.
Tirei o acento do
My
meu nome, Marcelo?
guests today
Eu tirei não,
are
eu agradeci que não
composer,
tem.
engineer. Give me
Uhum.
1 second to mute this over here. Composer, engineer, uh, musician. Both you guys are really talented. Marcelo, you are the seed of a whole community of music and inspired so many people over your career. I want to be talking with the two of you folks here in a quick minute. I want to first put a special thanks out to Piebox and Slack for their contribution of using their tools for our learning and growth and education on the Composer Exchange. I welcome you to join our community, the composerexchange.com. There's a form on there. Just send me an email and I will respond. And if learning about music composition and collaborating with other composers is your thing, that's where you want to be. So give me a shout out and I will get you hooked up with our community. With that said, I want to welcome Marcelo Cássio and Caique Calove. Did I say that right? They have a wonderful recording studio, which is a mastermind project of Marcelo's. After how many years has it taken to build this wonderful studio that you have?
Hi, Christopher. Nice to meet you here. How many years? In Itajai, about 15 years.
Wow.
But since 1994, I working with music, playing, composing, uh, a long time.
Yes. Well, so for the folks that are joining us here, Itajai is in Santa Catarina, Brazil, and my wife and I have a home there, and we go there. And last year, I met these gentlemen and toured their studio. And this year, when I was visiting, I got to go and participate also in Caique's podcast, which was fun. I got to meet some other members of his team, which are very talented, and listen to some great groups that you guys recorded live in the studio. And we're going to show some pictures a little bit later of the studio that will kind of give people the vibe. But it's really, I mean, you guys could go in the main room and shut the door, and an atomic bomb could go off, and it's like a bomb shelter. It's like, it's really well done, and I really commend you because it's one of the best studio designs from a isolation standpoint that I've I haven't worked in there yet, but I will. You have a beautiful piano, which is unique to that area because it's difficult because of the humidity in the ocean to maintain a piano. And you guys have really probably the nicest piano in the area and beyond in your studio. So that's something that really stands out. Of course, you're both keyboard players or pianists. So I suppose that might be one of the reasons why you like having a good piano in your studio.
The
Um,
Caique is a good pianist.
well, I've heard your music, and you do very well yourself, sir. So I wanted to start at the origins because and Caique, I'm going to come back to you, but I'd like to hear you studied in Boston here, which is close to where I actually live. Tell me about that experience and how long you were here, and then uh, you must have spoken a lot of English when you were here, and then how many years that did you have to you kind of separated from English a little bit, and now you're speaking it more because Caique's so fluent in this as well. I don't know. I'm not getting into the English part, but really your music when you studied here, what was that experience like?
First, I graduated in music in Brazil, and after that, I need to do a
Specialization.
postgraduate. Huh?
Post-graduation, specialization.
specialization, né? And I studied in Berkeley. It was a unique experience because um, I don't have in Brazil. We don't have in Brazil. Um, I don't know como fala, Kaique. Sorry, my English. Kaique, me
Problem.
ajuda. Eu quero dizer que não tem no Brasil algo, metodologias de ensino tão boas quanto eu encontrei lá. Então, eu achei muito fácil. Você consegue falar isso para mim? Que foi muito fácil aprender com a metodologia que eles aplicam.
Marcelo wants to say that we don't have in Brazil teaching methodology so good and as easy as he found in Berkeley. So here we have good courses, but it's not as complete, it's not as easy to learn. He thought it was pretty easy to grasp all the content in Berkeley.
Well, that's wonderful. One of the things that my friends that have gone to Berkeley, and I've been able to tour the campus in Boston, and it's a beautiful campus. And it's probably a little different from when you went there because they've really expanded and grown a lot over the years. But one of the things that my friends have said is that they got, a great music education, but it was the people that they met. Folks like I think it was Aladi Miola was studying there, and he met Chick Corea, through an experience there. And voila, so these relationships are really a big part of that. With that said, did you meet anybody that influenced you or gave you good ideas for where you wanted to go with your music career through that experience? And who would we recognize any of them today?
Sorry, Kaique. A última parte ali.
Ele quer saber. Primeiro, eu acho que é bom você explicar que você estudou EAD e não presencial. E ele quer que você. Ele falou sobre os encontros que acontecem lá dentro, né? As pessoas que você conhece através do curso. E se você conheceu alguém que te influenciou muito, alguém que talvez aqui a gente conheça, algum nome relevante.
Bom, eu, eu fiz. I do a EAD course. And in this course,
It's teaching in distance, not in campus. Marcelo never went to the college in Boston.
Okay.
For the courses. He did for a distance course in Brazil.
Oh, okay. All right. But it's the
of
same
some-
program. Yeah,
yeah,
great people.
but the best Oscar Stagnaro, a teacher in Berkeley, come Brazil, and I invite here to do a workshopping in Itajai some times ago.
Wow.
Is a contact Berkeley proporcionou, Kaique, Berkeley
Offered me.
offer me opportunity to know names like Oscar Stagnaro. He plays bass with sorry, que fez com o trio Corrente, Kaique, o Paquito de Rivera. Oscar playing with Paquito de Rivera, and it was incredible. He come in my studio to play, to teaching for people in Itajaí.
Well, that's wonderful. That's beautiful. Do you do that? Is that something that you're going to continue doing? Doing some kinds of educational programming with other artists and workshops? Is that stuff that you guys are doing or plan to do in the future more of?
The moment, no. We are our focus now
Mhm.
is not in the in music mainly, because Brazil the last 4 years have many problems in culture area, because
Mhm.
the government, our president is cut the all
The funding, the
yes,
money.
yeah,
Yeah.
and since for years ago, we have many problems with working only with music.
Yeah.
Now we work in other areas to mantenimento, Kaique, the
Okay.
studio.
To keep it going. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think two things that have happened just over in the last year is you've expanded into that upper studio, because that used to be more of a kind of a private studio, and now that's another useful room as part of your studio. Um, and you what I notice is you're doing, I when I was there the first time, I saw that you had the video capability, and you guys were set up not only to work in the studio, but to go out and do events and other remote types of services, which, I don't know how that, um, if the compensation is fair and reasonable compared to working in the studio, because it's a lot of work. And so I don't know how that works in economically in your area. But this year you've got a great package that you offer to local musicians there, where they can come in. I don't remember exactly the price. I think it was at 800 reais for 4 hours or something like that. Or am I right if I remembered correctly?
Yes.
And that's a really good package for musicians, because they come in and they get a couple hours of really good, high quality audio with the video along with it. That is really unique and really powerful for a band that wants to continue and use it for their either promoting an album or promoting their band and trying to get work in different places. That's a really good deal for musicians to be able to have such quality video and quality audio in one session. And you've got the lighting, you've got all of the tools to really make it wonderful. And thank you for inviting me over to watch and be a fly on the wall, as they say in English, just to observe. Why don't we take this second and Caique, I'm sorry, would you would you care to share some pictures from the website and let's show off this beautiful studio that you guys have been working on and building. So this is all in Portuguese, and we've been having a little bit of translation here back and forth. So I hope my Portuguese friends will be able to follow along as well if you are not speaking great English. But do you want to scroll down and just show some pictures in the actual studio there? Oh, wait. Before we go on to the studio, there's another person that works in João. Did I say it right? Did I get it right? João. Anyways, my pronunciation in Portuguese is pretty bad. But he's also a fantastic engineer and a member of your team that really does some great work. And you've really oh, and there's actually, yeah, because I'm seeing a different picture over here, and then you have Laura as well. And so between the four of you guys, you did some wonderful work with the video and the audio. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual studio. And so this is
This is an example. This is our room. Let me just show the whole room here. This is our studio room,
yeah,
the main recording ambient.
yeah.
So we have a complete drum set, the piano that you mentioned earlier,
Beautiful piano.
amplifiers, and we have like the lightning. And here, that same room with a LED panel transformed in another kind of scenario.
Oh, okay. So you can project on the back wall as well as do kind of the green screen kind of effect if you wanted to as well.
Yes, we have a green screen, but this one is an LED panel, the
Oh.
same from shows, and we do like similar to how it works on virtual production when you use a LED panel to form a background.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one kind of scenario that we did for a stock market course workshop. Here we have some bands in a different kind of scenario with LED lighting coloring or we have these drapes around the whole studio that makes it all black, and then we color it with LED lights to change it for whatever color we want.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I like the fact you went between like kind of doing that silhouette kind of backlighting and nothing, you did a lot of interesting mood lighting. The two sessions that I saw were lit very differently. And then you actually change it because that one group, the pianist was fantastic, but he did that duet with that singer, and that was just wow, that was just like spiritual. It was beautiful. But you changed the lighting for that along with the audio and everything.
Yeah, that lighting was more similar to this one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same room also with black flooring, solo lighting with a focus one, and this one is a partner of ours, a great acoustic guitar player, Ricardo Pauletti.
Oh,
The recording of his DVD, I highly recommend it for you. I think you will love it.
take note, folks, and I'll check it out too. Now, this is part of the control room there where everything is where you have the various screens as you're doing. Is that Wirecast you're using?
Yes, this one's Wirecast, where
Yeah.
this one's a transmission directly to YouTube. You can see here that's on YouTube. This is one of we have 4 different streaming editing hardwares.
Yep.
This is ours. We have a multicam here and there for the clients. Over here in the corner, there's our mixer.
That is magic, by the way. That is really, I have a kind of a similar in that it's automated and touch sensitive. It does a lot of stuff, but I was really impressed with the complexity of and capabilities of that mixing system that you have. What is the brand of that again?
It's Behringer Wing.
Trigger. And you have well, plenty of channels.
Yes. We have the Behringer Wing, and we have the add-ons. There are hardwares to add more channels to the mixing mixer.
Now, just out of curiosity, is that done? Are those add-ons through a USB or is that through a XLR cable? Or not XLR, but
It's for a network cable.
Ethernet. Yeah, beautiful. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I took 19 years off of music. I retired and then I'm coming back to playing music again. And so much has changed. And that's one of the things that surprised me. I'm like, wow, you can run an Ethernet cable and go however long you want and have, you could have a control room and have 2 football fields away, have a room and everything's there, it's because they're just plugging right into it. It's beautiful. All right. So you had some more pictures up here, didn't you? Let's see, what do you have? Oh, the podcast room.
This is the podcast room that we recorded a podcast together 2 weeks ago.
Now, what I'd like you to do is in that, put a link to this one when I get it to you. And then I want to get a link from you to put down below so that other people can go and watch that. That'd be kind of a swap.
Of course, we can swap links in WhatsApp.
Cool.
Here's another option of scenery. It's
Oh,
this
this
one
is
is
an event somewhere?
exactly. It's a photo studio in Balneário Camboriú, and this is all the gear we take in outside gigs
Mm-hmm.
with there's cameras here, antennas for the microphones.
Now, Camboriú, for the folks that are new to this, is a beautiful, good-sized city, very close to Itajai. They have a lot of there's a lot of tourism there, but there's also a lot of people that live there. It's a very populated city, but they have an amazing beach, well, the city's right on the beach. And isn't that where they have the tallest or the second tallest building in South America?
Yes, and they're
So,
already building a taller one.
oh yeah, well, they it's like, well, you got that building, I need to build some, people with money want to play like that.
Yeah.
I want my 2 more stories higher.
This here is the mixer.
Yeah.
This is our setup for a normal recording day. A mixer or live editing tools. This one's the controller for the PTZ cameras.
And that's where Marcelo is sitting right now.
Yes. Let
Yes.
me stop sharing here so they can see Marcelo full screen.
There you go.
There it is.
Marcelo, what were you working on today?
What?
Were you working on a project today?
Today I start to do a soundtrack for a film, interest film, a filme for Libras. Como é que fala em inglês?
Oh, it's a animation for deaf children. So the whole movie is in Libras, which are the Brazilian sign language.
Wow.
It's
Brazilian version of ASL.
Oh,
it's
that's
different because the child is no listen, okay? I need to work with percussion, more percussion, because the percussion
I can feel it.
yeah,
Yeah, very cool.
Vibration.
it's very difficult to do, but a challenge, né? Um desafio.
Oh, fantastic. This isn't the first one you've done, because I remember you telling me about something like this that you had done in the past.
Yes, in the past, there was a 80 a
Short
little
episodes.
short
Oh,
film,
eight
5
short
minutes.
episodes.
Short episodes. Now,
Yeah.
this one's a full, big, long film. Is that it?
Now, they start a 20 minutes, about 25 minutes episódios, episódios,
Episodes?
episódios.
Episodes, yeah.
I will do more four films, four episódios.
Episodes. Wow, that's a lot. Now, behind you, there's a couple awards. And one of the things when we talked last year, you told me a little bit about those projects. I'd love to hear, you had one that was just an engineering project while you composed the music, but you also won an award for the engineering because you made you and a sax player sound like a 1930s or 40s big band, if I recall.
É do Crypt que ele tá falando?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I get a premium. I do a soundtrack for film, a short film, 5 minutes, about 5 minutes. I get this I don't know
Award.
premium
Trophy.
award.
Yeah.
The best soundtrack is a big band, but I do everything. This is a little of film.
Just
Caique,
sharing a little bit of the making of, so they can see the
Cripty and
project.
Crypto Coaster.
Exactly.
yeah.
Cool.
It's
Oh,
so you
neat.
can explain, Marcelo.
A, 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 a- como é que é desenho antigo, né?
An old
60,
cartoon.
60 years.
Yeah, the 60s. It's a cartoon
Yeah,
with the vibes of a 60s cartoon.
and the key is that you engineered it it really sounded like it was made in the 60s. So you used the same recording techniques and orchestration techniques. Emulating that is very difficult. And because you did such a great job, and I got to see that clip, I forgot which one was which, but yeah, this was and it was just you and the sax player that did all of the parts for that. Well, he played trombone too, I guess.
Oh, he plays lots of things.
Yeah, but the two of you did that together. That was fantastic. Well, when we exchange links, if you have a link of that on YouTube or something like that, share that so I can take a listen to that. And you had another award up there too. What's that one about? The glass or the clear one? Isn't that another? That's another one. Marcelo?
Sorry,
The outro? Isn't that?
Ele quer saber do outro prêmio que tem ali atrás, Marcelo, o transparente, que é do prêmio da música, se não me engano.
okay. The best in 2027. No,
2020. We haven't gotten there yet.
27, 20, não, meu Deus, 2017,
2007.
17.
2017,
17. Yeah, 17. Okay, 2017.
17, yeah. The best record and mixing studio in Brazil. I got the award.
Fantastic. Well, folks, for listening in, this is the studio to go to if you're ever traveling to Brazil. I was really impressed, and I've really enjoyed the time I spent there. I just need a good excuse to go spend money with you guys, you know? So you have done a lot of different films, film scores. Tell me about some of the experiences that you've had scoring films. What was your favorite? Well, I don't want to get you in trouble. What was your favorite project to work on as far as being the most creative or what you're the most proud of with your music? Aside from these other two that you really, they're great projects. Whatever, because I looked you up, before I actually came over and met you, and you really have some great credentials. You've really done a lot of fantastic films.
Yeah, I don't know what the best because I like when I start a new soundtrack for film. I like the challenge because many if this different. Então the best I like was when I need to do something difficult, something different. In Brazilian music, do Brazilian music in computer is difficult. And when I start to playing percussion, Brazilian instruments, the swing, etc., don't have a good loops, a good pronto, Kaique, coisas prontas.
Libraries, good sound libraries. Is that?
Yes, I need to do everything. And sometimes ago I need to make many Brazilian music in the box for documentaries, for film for animation, like a cripty, in 2015, 16. We Caique and me compose more than 200 music in 1 year for animation, a series for children for 5 years old.
Wow, that was a fantastic project. Actually, why don't because you guys worked on that together, Kike, I've been, I'm not trying to ignore you. Why don't you tell me about that experience? Because you can explain it, and that's something that you guys did over a period of time. Tell me how that came to be, what you learned from it, because I'm sure you got to learn a lot from him during that period of time, and what became of all of that once you were finished.
Well,
It's a lot of questions. I'm sorry if you
sorry?
that's a lot of questions all
Oh.
at once. I'm sorry. Here's a big pile. There you go.
Well, we started this project. Marcelo started it alone. I wasn't even working at the studio in the time. I was still in high school. And it is a cartoon for children, age 1 to 6, 7. It's early ages. And the cartoon, the Café Maestro was responsible for everything sound related. So we recorded the voice for the characters, casting. We did the casting for the voice actors. We record the voice actors. Then every episode has have a music, theme music for the episode. They sing at the end of the episode a song about the theme of the episode, what they're trying to teach the children.
Yep.
So besides,
you had a theme for each episode, and did you have a common theme for all of them, like an intro and outro kind of a thing?
yes, we did.
And then you had
an outro,
specific
all the background music and the singing music for the characters, which the script writer gave us a lyric. We had sometimes to adapt because the script writer was not a composer, so the lyrics sometimes had no metric. It was hard to glue it.
a little bit of creative liberty.
Yes.
Yes, I understand.
Sometimes they send audio from recorded from the cell phone with their idea for the songs, the director and the script writer. And we did all the process of audio related process and the Foley, the sound design of the episode. So Marcelo picked up that project, and since I watched tons of animations, I like animations and I like dubbing and voice acting and everything. He called me like, hey, come here, we need your opinion. We did the first episode. What do you think? And I gave tons of notes because it was good, the music was good, but the Foley was not to the way cartoons normally are. So he asked me, do you want to work here again and take this project with me? And I jumped in because it was a perfect invitation, because sound designing, Foley, composing, mixing, everything. It's so much to learn in just a single project. So it was great. In the beginning, I was just doing the Foleys, the sound design, and Marcelo were doing the music, background music and theme. When the project started getting lots of episodes, I started doing some of the background music, because he gave me like 10, 15 musics, and that episode needed one specific thing that not one of the songs fits in that place. Then I start composing a little piece here, like 3 seconds here, 5 seconds there. The episodes were all 5 minutes. So always composing like small pieces.
Little stinger kinds of things. Yeah. Transitions, really, right?
Sometimes like we had a background music, but we didn't have one for that feeling, that emotion that we needed. And instead of asking him to compose another song, sometimes I just use the piano in the beginning, then I start doing another projects with him and learning and asking him for directions. So with the time, I started composing more than just 3 seconds, some bigger songs. And by the middle to the end of the project, I was composing full themes. Some of them we did together. Like he did the voicings and recording and put it inside a song that I wrote. Sometimes
You would do
I
the
did everything.
orchestration, that sort of thing.
Sometimes I did everything and he did everything in another song to speed up the project because we had deadlines. So I kind of had to learn how to do it in record time because of the deadline.
Yep.
And Marcelo teach me like tons of stuff so I can do a decent job because we had a quality control to deliver to the client.
Well, they have a term in English, on the job training. Okay.
Exactly.
So this is I guess because I want to learn, I want you to be able to tell a little bit of your story and how you kind of got into all this and how you guys connected. Marcelo was married to your mom. You're his adopted son and or natural son, adopted. Natural. Okay. Sorry, natural. But I mean, I wasn't sure because you have a different last name. But anyways, my point is that you grew up in the studio, and you were influenced to all of this progression that he's done, and you were very familiar with it. At some point when you were in high school, right, you started learning about music and playing music, right? What was your journey in starting to play like piano and learning about music theory? Where did that intersect as you were growing up in the studio that he built?
Even before the studio, I would say that Marcelo, similar to most of music producers in the world, he's a music freak. He's a
He
geek for
listens
music.
to a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's important.
Yes, and not only listen, but Marcelo play music since he was a teenager. He partake in the first recording of punk music in Brazil. The first recording of punk music, there's Marcelo playing the guitar.
I can't imagine him with a purple mohawk and a bone through his nose. I'm sorry. That was a joke.
But
That's cool. That's cool.
yes.
Did you have fun play? Oh, we got to come back to that because we got to hear all about his rock and roll days. So he let the cat out of the bag, as they say in America.
The secret's out.
So he played in punk bands and did those things, and you were like, wow, that's cool. My dad's a rock star.
Played punk bands. Then he played Elvis Presley covers. What we call banda de baile, which is bands that play multiple styles in the same night in parties. Marcelo playing
top 40 here. That's like a top 40 band. They go with all the hits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he played in tons of styles. He played guitar, he sang, he played keyboard, and he was always involved in music.
Yep.
Then for a while he switched to another career in programming, which is it's still very
you do code? He does code?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool. What programming languages, if you don't mind me, and I want to come back, but what programming languages did you work in?
Pascal, C++, COBOL.
You're dating yourself. Those are all languages that I know about, but except for C++. The other ones are kind of getting fading away. But yeah, that's
Delphi. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Enfim, many Java.
Yeah, well, once you get into that mindset of programming, the language is just syntax. It's just a syntax. Well, cool. So when did you started playing piano or playing instruments about what
Very
time?
uh, around 4 years old, I started piano lessons.
Okay. Now you were
Marcelo wanted,
go
huh?
ahead.
Marcelo wanted me to play the guitar. He bought me, like when I was 3, he bought me a small guitar and a little amplifier. I think we have the amplifier like today. I tried to play the guitar, but it hurted my fingers and I hated it. Then
I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
I played the little keys on the piano. We had a standing piano.
Upright piano.
Upright, yes, upright piano. I pressed the little keys and it made a sound, and I think that's the best instrument in the world.
Doesn't hurt my finger.
Suffer.
I can press it. It doesn't hurt afterwards.
Like, to a
No,
3-year-old,
the doy,
that's
right?
amazing. Then with 4 years, I started taking lessons. By the same time, he started picking up saxophone lessons because I know he's a music freak. So every time an opportunity to learn a new instrument. So I'm involved with music since birth because he is involved with music since early childhood.
Yep.
Then he started building the studio and doing the university, the music college, the music course in college. And I was around the whole time. With 11 years old, I started working with him in concerts. He went to do the live mixing, and we rent sound too. We PA. I don't remember the name for the front.
Reinforcement, yeah.
Yeah.
For bands.
So, and I was there like rolling up cables, passing up,
You
picking
paid
up
your
some,
dues. Yeah.
exactly, picking up coffee for him.
Well, now from what I understand, I haven't, I may have, but I may not have met your mother. Your mother is also a producer. And so this was a family affair because you actually lived in the studio while you built it. So that takes a lot from the heart. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of sweat equity to build this. So, you
And a
really
lot of
put
fight sometimes.
yourselves into making this a special place. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, my mother is a executive producer. She does projects for incentive laws that give money to artists to do artistic projects. And today she's an
Producer for
executive.
films.
What's
Huh?
that?
Executive producer for films.
Yes.
And
Awesome.
she plays drums and percussion.
We're gonna have a jam session when I come there next. That'd be fun. Because I don't know if Marcelo, I don't know if I told you, but what was the name of the guy in the trio that played
Matheus Libório Trio. Libório Trio.
the Borio? I went and sat in with them and had a blast over at I think I sent you a video, but I went and
Yeah.
played music with them. They're really talented, and that would have been fun to just kind of have. Maybe we'll just let's book a jam session when we get together next, and just get a bunch of musicians. Maybe have a barbecue or something like that. I'll pay for the part of the food, and we'll have a big fun fiesta, and you guys invite all the musicians, and we'll take turns playing. That would be a blast. That would be really fun to do, because you guys. Now, after over 15 years, you have not maybe played, but you have had some amazing musicians come through your studio. How does that feel? How does that feel to know that you've done so much for that community by empowering them, helping them get more gigs, helping them grow and aspire as artists?
Very, very good to make music with these musicians, because we have sorte, né? Como nós temos muita sorte, Kaique,
We have tons of luck.
because there's a lot of good musicians here, and I everything I know about the Brazilian music, I start to study and practice in Santa Catarina, in Itajai,
Mhm.
because when I was a rock, I playing rock, play punk music, rock music, when come to Itajaí, Santa Catarina, we start to play Brazilian music and study Brazilian music. And here I know many the best musicians to play together. Here's a good place to play Brazilian music. I love here.
That's wonderful. One of the things I noticed, I was a drummer for many years, and I mostly played in jazz trios with a piano and a bass player. I just love that vibe because it's really intimate and you really connect with musicians. But what that helped me is when I'm now trying to really learn piano, is like I got a lot of that from osmosis. I learned how that gospel feel, how to make it, how to get the feel, not so much the technique, because that you just have to practice, but how to get the feel of different styles of music. And I think that's one of the keys. Like what you're saying is that you can study it all day long. Let's see, it's a quarter note and then it's an eighth note and then, but that doesn't do anything. It's the feeling. So by being, connecting with all these great musicians that play traditional Brazilian music, I imagine that really helped you find the feeling, be able to get the real emotion out of the drum, because it's not quarter notes, it's how you play the quarter notes that makes the difference. And what a great experience. Now, you guys, what do you see happening in the next 5 years? What fun projects you're gonna obviously continue on with this percussion project for the deaf? That's really awesome. What other big things do you guys see happening in the future? What do you want to do? What's going to be fun to do in the next 2 to 5 years?
Kaique want to go to Japan.
Japan?
Japan, yeah, to Japan. But
Go do it. Absolutely. That would be a
I
fantastic. Do you
visit
speak
there
any Japanese? Did you
a
study?
little bit. A little bit.
Okay, how do you say a little bit?
あ、
How
ちょっとジャパニーズは、ちょっと日本語はわかんない。
All right.
話します。
So that must be because you like animations. You even have a couple critters in the behind you with those.
Yes.
They're like Japanese.
Both are Japanese, Kirby and
Exactly.
Ribeiro.
I recognize.
that
So he wants to go to Japan. That'd be a good move. And I think you'd find it a fascinating experience.
Yeah, I went there for last December. I worked there for the whole month, and I almost didn't come back.
Well, I'm
Yes.
glad you did. I really am. And you guys got to come over to the US sometime, visit me, and when I get my new studio built, that'll be fun. So how about you, Marcelo? Where do you want to go in the next couple years?
I would like to make some tracks for films that and I like sound design for films, and this I want to expand this area this way, because what I really like this to do this. But the studio, we working with companies and musicians more professionals, because the studio for musicians is diminuindo,
Getting smaller.
get small because
Getting smaller.
the
We have
musicians.
Small market. Yeah.
yeah, the market for musicians, it's getting a little thinner. There, musicians who can afford a big studio end up in a home studio, and it works fine because they do virtual productions today and all in the box. So we only work with, basically today in the studio we have business companies and entrepreneurs, some people doing courses and podcasts, workshops and podcasts, and some musicians that want to record really high quality
live,
material.
yeah, a live type of setting. Yeah, I mean, the in the box writing songs, that's kind of a thing of the past. You know, I mean, writing songs in a studio and kind of getting together in those workshops, it just isn't the way they do it anymore. Everybody kind of creates their box and then they come in and say, here it is, let's add this, you know, and that's about it. But you know, one of the things, Marcelo, is that, and if you need help translating Caique, because I want him to be with this. One of the things that I learned, this is a journey. It's a long journey, and I never get bored. I think Shato is bored, right? No, no, that's
Entediado.
quiet. What's that?
Entediado.
Entediado. I never get bored because there's this universe that is a never-ending journey with music, and that's where you know, once you're hooked, I mean, I'm hooked just like you are, Marcelo, in the passion and the joy of connecting emotions and music. That's just a beautiful thing, and there's no end to it. You can do it in so many different ways that it's always interesting. You know, that's the beauty of the journey that we're on. So I really I'm really glad that you guys have been able to share this time with me. I'd love to hear any final thoughts that you'd like to share with folks of, you know, where you're going with your career or what you'd like to see happen in the industry or at your studio.
Caique.
Well, we have tons of projects going on. We have the podcast, that projects for our projects like podcast, and we did a documentary about artificial intelligence last year.
Ooh, I want to see that.
We did the whole
in
documentary.
Portuguese. I gotta.
No, I think we did subtitles in English.
Thank you. I want to see that.
Tá na
For,
Amazon Prime, tá na Amazon Prime americana, Kaique.
Yeah,
American Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Marcelo, will you send me a link to that specifically on the side? Because I want to see that. That's kind of my thing. I'm like really trying to pay attention to that.
It's in Portuguese, but there's a
Subtitle.
Subtitles, yes.
English subtitle.
But that's a very important topic that people need to be paying attention to. Really important.
So we do lots of projects that came from us, like this. The documentary was we did the whole thing. The podcast is all us. We do lots of projects all the time, but we want to, I think the main point of working in arts is working with people.
Yeah.
So every time we do a project, we try to include other producers, other companies that can make the project grow bigger, better, and work together. So I think the main focus today of Café Maestro, our company, our studio, is to do more projects and bigger projects with people that want to grow, want to do bigger and bigger and bigger projects every time, a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, and growing the relationships, the artistic message, and of course the money if possible.
Yeah. Well, that's really a great business model approach to what you're doing, because that approach it comes from humility, and it comes from like curiosity. And that, I think, is what is going to inspire other artists and offer opportunities for them to grow. So it's awesome that you guys are doing this. And why don't you spell out the website so people can go to the website? And this is the old website. There's a new one coming, and but there's plenty of great information up there. Is this in English as well, or just in Portuguese right now?
No, just in Portuguese right now.
Okay. You can usually translate with Google Translation pretty easy.
Yes.
So,
send you the link so you can put in the description.
well, spell it out right now, just so that they have it.
It's cafemaestro.com.br. Café
Dot
Maestro.
com.
So Ponto is dot.
Yeah,
dot.
Let me just
And
say share screen here. Just a second.
There we go.
Then it's easier if you guys read it.
There we go. cafemaestro.com.brazil.
Exactly.
And people can learn about it. Wonderful place. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you joining me today. And I look forward to our next get together when I come back to Brazil. And again, if you're a composer and you need to connect with authentic Brazilian artists for some percussion things or certain guitars or getting the stylistic elements correct, check in with Marcelo. Caique might be in Japan by then, but either way, well then you'll specialize in Japanese music too. Anyways, but this is one of the things that I hope to be able to connect with you guys with, in being able to do remote sessions. So you can, if you have your own studio and you want to connect with a wonderful community of great musicians, incredible talent, and the right production resources to make your project come alive, both from an engineering standpoint and from a talent standpoint, connect with these folks. They're definitely going to have some great impact on what you're putting together, and they're all about collaboration. So am I. So I love it. I want to. Anything else you want to say before we head off?
Just thank you, Christopher, for participate with our podcast. And thank you for coming in our studio. And when you come to Brazil again, please come here. We don't have until now opportunity to play together.
We're gonna play next time, and we're gonna have a meal. We're gonna have a big barbecue or something. We're gonna have to. Appreciate
yes.
Work together and work together.
Yes. Well, you guys, it's the High Note podcast. I want to make sure that everybody ends on a high note and be sharp. Okay. Thank you guys both for I know it's a little corny, isn't it? Yeah. Anyways.
Awesome. It's genius.
I
wish I had thought of that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I look forward to connecting with you guys again. And with that, we just wave goodbye and go